Everyone wanted into the Christmas bonus room, but nobody talked about what you lost inside. I'm Andre, IT support, and tonight, the entire office is lined up outside a single conference room where management is personally delivering bonuses. First, people go in smiling and come out quieter, eyes fixed on the floor, clutching envelopes they don't open. Then I notice the room's glass walls are frosted from the inside, like breath trapped too long, and the line keeps moving even when someone doesn't come back. Finally, my badge unlocks the door by itself, and I see the truth. No money, just a screen replaying every unpaid hour, every compromise, every time we chose work over life. The bonus is silence. Agree to forget what you saw, or leave with nothing and no reference. I walk out empty-handed, snow falling outside, lighter than everyone still waiting in line. The Christmas bonus room stays full because hope clocks in every year. The last email before Christmas ruined everything, and it wasn't meant for me. I'm Elena, Junior Project Manager standing by the copier during the office Secret Santa party, fake snow falling from the ceiling vents. First, my phone buzzes with an email preview from the CEO announcing layoffs, and I realize my name is highlighted in red. Then, coworkers start laughing louder, hugging tighter, as if joy itself is trying to drown out fear, while I notice several people quietly checking their phones too. Finally, the email vanishes, replaced by a cheerful "Merry Christmas, team" sent company-wide, and everyone exhales at once. That's when I understand the email wasn't a mistake. It was sent early on purpose to see who panicked, who warned others, and who stayed silent. I smile, clink glasses, and delete the message, knowing my calm just saved my job and cost someone else theirs. Because the last email before Christmas isn't about layoffs, it's about who survives them. Nobody took vacation that Christmas, and the calendar kept reminding us why. I'm Sophia, HR assistant, staring at a wall calendar where every approved holiday request has been quietly crossed out. First, people stop asking questions, bringing wrapped gifts to their desks like apologies to a job that never sleeps. Then, the heating shuts off floor by floor, forcing teams to huddle together, while management emails cheerful reminders about resilience and gratitude. Finally, the calendar updates itself overnight. Next year's dates already blocked, names pre-filled, lives scheduled in advance. That's when it clicks. We aren't employees anymore. We're resources booked ahead of time. I erase my name from the calendar with a red marker and leave my badge on the desk. The calendar still shows I'm working next Christmas because the system never learned how to process freedom. The gift nobody claimed sat under the tree like it was judging us. I'm Mara, youngest cousin, watching my family finish Christmas gift exchanges in my grandma's living room where the heat is always too high. First, every present gets opened except one plain box, and everyone swears it's not theirs while subtly pushing it away with their feet. Then accusations start flying. Someone forgot a gift, someone's lying, someone clearly didn't understand the budget, and Grandma starts taking notes. Finally, the box is opened to reveal absolutely nothing, just a handwritten note that says, "This is the one you all forgot." The twist hits when Grandma smiles and admits she put it there on purpose, because every year we remember objects better than each other. We sit quietly for exactly 3 seconds, then burst out laughing and start hugging like we're late for something important. The empty box goes back under the tree, waiting for next Christmas, just in case we forget again.
The Wi-Fi died at exactly 6 p.m., and my family treated it like a national emergency. I'm Radu, middle child, trapped in my parents' house on Christmas Eve while 3 generations argue over who touched the router. First, my uncle starts narrating his movements like a survival documentary as he crawls behind the TV stand. Then, my grandma declares the internet was fine until those phones arrived and unplugs the router to let it rest in peace. Finally, my teenage cousin admits he renamed the Wi-Fi Free Christmas Miracles as a prank and changed the password to see who actually talks to each other. The twist is nobody even asks for the new password because we're too busy telling old stories, laughing at the wrong parts, and burning the cookies together. Hours later, the Wi-Fi comes back on by itself and no one reaches for their phone. The Wi-Fi died at 6 p.m. and somehow Christmas finally connected.
The Santa suit had a deadline, and nobody told my dad. I'm Ayana, youngest daughter, watching my father agree to play Santa for the kids while confidently ignoring the zipper situation. First, he puts the suit on backwards and insists it's a modern design while sweating through fake beard number 1. Then the doorbell rings early, the kids scream, "Santa!" and my dad gets stuck halfway down the hallway, rotating slowly like a confused planet. Finally, the zipper gives up completely, and he dives behind the tree, whispering urgent instructions like he's defusing a bomb. The twist is the kids don't care. They think Santa is clumsy on purpose and rate his performance 5 stars for realism. We hand out presents while Dad escapes through the kitchen in jeans and socks, still wearing the beard. The Santa suit had a deadline, and Dad missed it, but Christmas didn't.
Only one house kept its Christmas lights on, and everyone noticed. Snow covered the street, windows went dark one by one, and silence replaced carols as families left town or closed their doors early. The lights stayed on through wind, outages, and neighbors knocking to ask if it was wasting electricity. By Christmas Eve, someone left cookies at the door, then a scarf, then a note that simply said, "Thank you." The twist came when the light finally turned off at dawn, not because it failed, but because the owner had passed quietly in the night, leaving the house to a city shelter. Weeks later, the street glowed brighter than ever, every home lit, every window warm, every neighbor remembering the one light that refused to quit. Years pass, but the street still turns on early every December, because one light stayed on long enough to teach the rest when to shine. The chair stayed empty all evening, and nobody mentioned it. Dinner stretched longer than planned, plates cooled, and the table felt wider than usual in a living room that had hosted the same faces for decades. Conversation filled the gaps at first, work updates, small jokes, weather complaints, until the silence started answering back. Halfway through dessert, an old voicemail played by accident, a familiar voice wishing everyone a loud, messy Christmas, and laughter broke before anyone could stop it. The twist wasn't the sadness, it was realizing the emptiness hadn't ruined the night. It had softened it, slowed it, made room for stories that hadn't been told in years. Coats stayed on the backs of chairs longer, dishes were washed together, and nobody rushed to leave. The chair stayed empty, but the room didn't feel that way anymore. The store closed early on Christmas Eve, and customers didn't complain. Shelves were half empty, the radio kept looping the same song, and tired smiles replaced rushed transactions as the clock moved closer to closing time. A woman left her change behind for the next person. Someone helped stack chairs without being asked, and the line slowly stopped feeling like a line at all. Right before locking up, the door opened one last time, not for shopping, but for everyone to step outside together and watch the snow start falling. The twist wasn't generosity or magic. It was noticing how easily people became kind once there was nowhere else to be. Lights went off, doors locked, and goodbyes lasted longer than usual. The store closed early, but Christmas arrived right on time.